I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Dominion Hinterlands. Hinterlands is an expansion, one of many of the popular Dominion line of deck building. It's a deck building game. Some say the original. We won't go into how the mechanics work, in that this is not the base game, so there are other videos to watch for that. Let's jump right into simplicity versus complexity.
I think this game, I think it adds more complexity. As with each of the expansions, I think it adds more complexity. You've got more combo cards. I can see right here we've got a reaction. They're not blocks necessarily. So a reaction and a money together, and a reaction and victory points together. So that's a new combination. But this one doesn't add as many new rule changes, much like other expansions. I think about half the expansions add a big thing and half don't. So I would say this is a simpler expansion than others.
I think this keeps the base game simplicity. It doesn't add where Seaside does. It doesn't add where Prosperity or Alchemy.
Yeah.
And so there aren't any extra bits or whatnot that come in here. I think this keeps the same simplicity.
Yep.
Luck versus strategy.
I would say it's the same strategic deck building game, right? One of the more strategic deck building games, because everyone has the same choices on the table as everyone else. So I think this is pretty standard Dominion in strategy versus luck. Luck, and you're like we talked about in the cards that you draw, you're building your deck, you're shuffling, you're drawing new cards. So I think it's about the same.
I think it keeps on in the same vein as base game Dominion, in that it gives you cards to help you mitigate your luck. You've got the highway. It's basically a +1 action, +1 card, but while it's in play, cards cost 1 less, but not less than 0. So it helps you, if you have a bunch of these, it can get down the cost of a province to something very affordable. There are ways to mitigate your luck. However, will you draw the cards you need with each other? And that's just the deck building luck, despite the Dominion is the chess of deck builders, and it's very strategic. There's a large amount of randomness here. But they do try to, the designer, Donald X, does try to give you a lot of ways to mitigate that luck. Fun versus boring. Me, okay, so you may already know my opinion on Dominion is that when we first played it, so much fun. Really enjoyed myself. Played hundreds of games. But I played it out, and part of why I can play it out and not other games is because the theme just doesn't stand up for me. This does not add anything to the theme for me. It's still kind of boring. But the trick of this one, even though some of these cards are amazing, let's just talk Tunnel for a second. It's a 2-point reaction card. It says, when you discard this other than during a cleanup phase, you may reveal it. If you do, gain a gold. It's incredible. What a counter to so many discard attacks. And you have cards in here where it will purposely allow you to discard your own cards. That's amazing. You can reveal these things and then just get a whole bunch of gold. You can get attacked very early and get gold on just right after a reshuffle. It's amazing after your first reshuffle. So there's a lot of really cool combo cards. But even when we were setting this up, we were talking about how forgettable this set is. I don't think when I think of sets that Dominion players need to have, I think I say base set, of course, but then I say Dark Ages, Seaside.
I say Cornucopia,
Prosperity. I don't think Hinterlands. No. It's just so meh.
Yeah, I would say the same. Hinterlands kind of went by. Dark Ages has this trash ink theme. I was just trying to think what's the theme for this one? So many of them have themes.
I think the theme is just boring.
Maybe manipulating your deck a little more, because I'm seeing some things, getting things for cheaper, like Fool's Gold is pretty cool. You have to have 2 of them for it to be worth 5. Both cards together then would be worth 5, otherwise it's just worth a copper. So getting things hopefully faster, cheaper, getting more money faster with Tunnel and all that, I don't know. But I see the cards and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, but I don't remember them after. Whereas I remember certain cards in other sets. I remember the sets, and I remember them being fun and all this. I don't think that about Hinterlands. But it's still a solid Dominion game, just not as exciting as the other expansions, I guess.
All right, Gardens players will love Cash. It is a $5 gold that also gains you 2 coppers. Silk Road is worth 1 point for every 4 victory cards in your deck, rounded down.
Oh, yeah.
Ill-gotten gains is a strategy unto itself. It's worth a copper. When you play it, you gain a copper putting it into your hand, but when you gain it, each other player gains a curse, and it's not an attack, so it can't be blocked. Lots of things going on in this set. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
So let's talk Board Game Geek rating.
Even though it's like kind of boring, I think I'd still give it a 6.
Okay.
It's a solid game, but I don't suggest it, and I forget about it easy.
I would go for probably, I'm going to say a 4, in that I think most of my other Dominions are at like a 5. Like, take it or leave it. But this one, I'm not even sure I want to shuffle the cards into the randomizer.
Yeah.
I could pick and choose, but just some of these are so forgettable and boring. And I just look at the cards and I'm like, I don't want it. I got like this. I just pulled it out of the box. Haggler. It gives you 2
I don't
money.
even remember that card.
While this is in play, when you buy a card, gain a card costing less than it is not a victory card that costs 5. Boring. Blah.
Yeah. All right. Remember, when we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite superhero icon. Make sure and subscribe, and tell all your friends to subscribe.
Because it could be you that wins.
All right, Dominion Hinterlands. Take it or leave it. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.